this video, we're going to learn how to create users, create security roles, assign role permissions based on the security role, and then assign users to that security role. So if you're just getting familiar with the Razor platform, this is a good video to watch in the beginning, when you're creating your users and your roles. So let's get started. So first, if you're a system administrator, go to the settings icon at the top right, click System Settings in the flyout menu. Once you're brought to the administrator screen, as you see here, you can click on the users block, which is in the second row, first one on the left. And on this screen, this is where you're going to create your users. So based on the subscription that you sign up for with Razor and the user package that you have available, you're going to create that many users in the system. So obviously you can see here that we have a lot of users. This is our sandbox environment. And when I want to create a new user, I'm just going to click the Add button. So when I click Add, first thing that I'm going to be asked to do is enter the username. Typically, the best practice for username is most of our customers, they just go based off of the syntax for their corporate email address. Obviously, corporate email addresses differ company to company, but typical cases are first initial, last name, first name dot their last name, and then sometimes just maybe initials. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do first initial, last name, and then fill out the full name of the user. The start page is whatever page you want the user to come to first. So when the user signs into the system, the first page that they're going to see. So this really depends based on the role that they're going to fulfill as a user. So in this case, I'm going to make Tom Jones a shipper, the shipping manager. So first page he's going to see is the sales order page, so he can see which sales orders are pending shipment, etc., etc. Job title, primary email address, time zone, whether they're active. So you're just going to want to leave this checked. If you want to deactivate a user, you would uncheck it here. Obviously, when you're creating a user, you're not going to be creating an inactive user, but if you do want to do that, you can just uncheck that. So locations is interesting. Locations really depends on, sometimes you're going to want a user seeing inventory for multiple warehouses. So if you have multiple warehouses and you only want a user to see one warehouse, you would select that warehouse here. If you want them to see multiple warehouses, you can do that as well. So let's just say that we'll give him access to these 3 warehouses. Well, he's in Eastern Standard Time, so I'm going to choose my Eastern Standard warehouses here. So I'm going to say Philadelphia and North Carolina. The default location is the default location, so when you don't have to run a filter on your inventory, you just want the main warehouse that this person is present at, and in this case I'm going to just choose Philadelphia. So by default, when he goes to an inventory page, he's going to see Philadelphia inventory first, and then he can filter and choose to see North Carolina inventory as well. The other information that needs to be filled out is the main phone number. So we'll just put a dummy phone number in. And that's about it. You can fill out this other information, but it's not mandatory. And the next step would be choosing the security role. So at this point, we have various security roles, and when choosing a security role, there's certain security roles that come out of the box upon a deployment. So these are the typical security roles that are out of the deployment. If you want to create a new security role, you can just go into your settings again and click on security roles under the global settings. So I'm going to click on that. In this case, these are all the security roles. As you can see, it mimics this here, these options here. So if I go in here and I click on new, I'm going to create a new security role. This does not have permissions, so security role by default does not have any role permissions. All it is a placeholder, and then you can apply permissions to it later. So in this case, I'm going to just say shipping manager, and I'm just going to repeat in the role description the actual role. So now we created a new placeholder for a security role. I'm going to go back here and I'm going to save and close, and I'm going to open up Tom again. And if I go into security roles, now that the page is refreshed, you see shipping manager at the bottom is now available. So I'm going to choose shipping manager and uncheck user. So if you want a particular user to have multiple roles, you can select multiple roles, and what's going to happen is it's going to combine all the permissions for those roles, but it's really not necessary. If you set up your permissions correctly for each of these roles here, then you really only have to select one, but you have the option to select multiple if you need to. So moving on to email settings, if you have global SMTP set up, you can see here that this is going to be the global SMTP. This is what we provide out of the box, this email from notifications@RazorERP.com. If you have personal settings, personal global SMTP, not global SMT. If you have personal email settings, you can choose, click this checkbox and then fill out this information here. Otherwise, it's going to default to the global SMTP. The last step for creating a user is you have this wait system here. You can choose to use the default warehouse setting, or you can also choose specifically if you want to do pounds or kilograms. So it just depends on which metric system, which system that you're looking to use. So I'm going to choose use default warehouse setting, and then I'm going to click save. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to contact. At this point, if you're creating a user for Tom Jones, best practice would be just to reset the password. So if I click reset password, it's going to ask me, hey, do you want to send Tom at RazorERP.com his new password that's auto-generated? I'm going to click yes. Tom's going to receive an email. It's going to say, hi Tom, welcome to Razor, and here's your username, password, and the URL. So at that point, he can log in as his user. So that's how you create a user and resetting a password and giving them access. If you want to actually type in the password for them, you can type in the password here and then repeat it and click that change password and then send him an email. So I'm going to close this. Password's been reset. Click OK. Alright, so now we have our new user, Tom Jones. He's in the system, and from here I want to go back into my security roles. I created this security role shipping manager. Now I want to assign permissions to the shipping manager. So if I go into role management, so if you see, these three blocks really work together here. So you have users, security roles, and then role management. So if I go into role management, here is where I give access to the role. So the first thing I'm going to do is select the role up here, and I'm going to choose shipping manager. So out of the box, when I create a new role, if you look here, there's no boxes selected. So this user basically has no access at this point based on the role permissions. So first thing I'm going to do is page access. You can see that there are 4 different actions that can happen in the system. You can read access, write access, delete, and export. So we have here, the bold text in the entity column is the actual pages. So you have CRM, dashboard is unavailable right now, but recycling, inventory, sales. So all these pages here, if you want to give them access, so shipping manager would probably want to see the CRM, and they're going to want to, see the accounts, contacts, addresses. They might want to add new addresses, probably not add accounts, not be able to delete accounts, not be able to delete addresses. So, but maybe they want to create contacts and addresses. For recycling, they probably don't need to see any of this information if they're just shipping. If they're shipping resale products from the inventory section, then that's probably not needed. Inventory, they're going to want to see inventory. They're going to want to see inventory, master items, inventory audit, items to qualify. Probably not items to qualify, actually. Receive inventory. So I'm just going to go through here and I'm going to select the items that I think a shipping manager would need. And sales, he's obviously going to need to see sales and sales orders because you're going to want to default him to the sales order page. And that's it. So I'm going to go up to the top. I'm going to click save. Just give it a couple seconds here to save your settings. Okay, so the settings have been saved. Click OK. Now I would like to show you, I'm going to sign in as Tom. So I'm going to sign out. And then I'm going to sign back in. And when I sign back in, you can see that I only have 4 pages that are accessible because according to the permissions that I allowed the CRM, inventory, sales, and reports. So there you have it. That's how you create users, create security roles, assign role permissions. If you have any questions, please check out our YouTube channel for more helpful videos, or you can always email us at support@razorerp.com.